Okay, this video is about how to do switching your platform so you can go through the platform, and then when you flip, it switches the platform from going through it to making it solid. I already talked about this in my previous video with GameMaker 8.1. Now I'm going to talk about it in Studios. So it's the same concept here that I talked about it in GameMaker 8.1. So when he hits this line here, this red line, it's going to switch the solid platform to go through the platform. And then when he flips and hits this object 2 line, it's going to switch this go through platform to a solid platform. You also got to make sure that this object line is in the correct spot, because if you have this too low and you flip, you're going to get stuck in between. You're going to get stuck into this platform here, because it's going to switch this platform to solid, and then you get stuck in there and you can't move. But let me show you what I'm talking about here first, and then I will demonstrate on how to, when I move this down here, you get stuck. So I'm going to play this out. Let me make sure that it's set up where it's going to be adjusted. Oh, hold on, let me just do this. Alright, so he's able to run, stop, and then he's able to flip and then land. See, he's able to go through it. Then he's able to flip and land on it. That's what I'm talking about. And then he's able to run off of it. So let me show you how I did that. Now, let me demonstrate one more time. I'm going to relocate that. And he's going to get stuck into the platform now because I moved it too far. I moved it too low now. So, see, now he's stuck in there. So you're going to make sure that you put that bar right above where he's going to flip, so he clears this platform, and then it switches to a solid one, and he lands on it. So you got to make sure that you put this line in the right place. So always test out your game before you upload it and let other people play it, so you're not aggravating them when trying to play the game and it's not working right. So you want to make sure all your bugs are pretty much gone, whatever. So yeah, just test this out. So you got to move this up 2 spaces up, and use your snap X and Y coordinates to get it exactly where you want it at, and then mess with it then. So what's happening here is when he's hitting this line right here, this object 1, it's switching the solid platform to object platform. So the object platform is not solid. You don't need this code. I took this code out. This is code that I talked about before with simple objects. It won't work with this complex object. So you're dealing with parenting objects. And when you're dealing with parenting objects, it doesn't work correctly with this code. This code only works for simple objects, such as one character where he doesn't have any limbs attached to him. Other objects, when he moves, you don't have him animating. He's just simple. He's just moving without any animation whatsoever. So you're not parenting anything to the actual character that's on the actual character to. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're dealing with simple objects, when you're not dealing with a camera view, you're not dealing with parenting other images to the object that is on the screen right now, then you can do it the simple way. But once you start messing with the camera view and having other parented objects added to the character so you can do his running sequence and flip and all that stuff, you have to do it differently, because this code won't work. This simple code that I graded out will not work when you're dealing with complex objects with your character. So you have to do it differently. and it's a little more complex, but it works. So when you're touching this object 1, you're switching the solid platform to object platform, which is not solid. You can go through it pretty much. So it's not solid, it's visible, but it's not solid. The object plat is solid, okay? And also when you land on the object plat, it has this code right here that says move underscore contact underscore solid, direction 0, speed 0. So that means he's going to land on it. You're dealing with gravity, you're dealing with solid objects, and so he's not going to move when he's going to flip and drop onto the platform on a solid object. And that's what you want to happen here. So he's going to land on it with no problem. But with this object platform, you can go through it because you don't have it solid and it's not pertaining to anything with the object stand. So you don't see it in here at all. And like I said, all these other images, him going left, standing left, running right, and flip, all that's parented to the object stand. And that's what you want to happen when you're dealing with camera view and side scrollers. You want the camera view to follow the character, so you have to parent all the other images of the character to this one particular object, because the camera view can only follow one object, and that's whatever is on the screen, which is the object stand person. So everything else has to be parented to that object stand character, and all these attributes that the object stand has goes in with all these other images of the character when you parent. So you don't have to copy all this stuff right here and put it into all these other images here, because you're parenting it to that one particular object when you first start the game. So it's not necessary, but I kind of did it that way, where I added all the images into it. But you don't have to. You don't have to do all this collision with everything with the left and object run and left and flip and all that stuff. You don't have to have all those collisions in here. See, I don't have all that stuff in here that's in the object stand, because it's parented to the object stand, so it takes on all those attributes. See? So whatever is an object stand, it's going to work for the other images as well. Like the left press, the right press, enter, to flip. So this other image is called object 2. So when he flips and hits that, and this right here is not in with the object stand because we're dealing with him flipping, so it's not needed in this area right here, but it's needed in the flip. So when he hits that flip, it's going to switch the object plat, which was going through, to making it solid when he lands. So when he lands on the ground, he's going to switch to object stand, and then he's also going to, when he hits that red line at the top, it's going to switch to object stand as well. So that's what's happening here. So, but could just add it in here, like when he lands on the platform, then make him switch the flip right to make him go stand right. And then I could take out this stand information right here. So what essentially is happening here is when he, see, the way I have it set up is when he flips on the ground, so many seconds happens and he's going to land on the ground. Same thing here, when he flips, so many seconds is going to happen when he's flipping and he's going to land on the platform. So I kind of switched it around and put it in the object stand versus putting it in the flip. So anytime he's running and hitting this red line that's invisible, it's switching the solid platform to the go-through platform, and then when he flips and hits this other line up here, it switches the go-through platform to the solid platform, and he's able to land on it. But you got to make sure that the line up here is far enough up above him when he flips that it clears him from this touching this go-through platform to making it solid. Otherwise he'll get stuck in there like I showed you before. So that's how you do it. So like I said, it's a little more complex and it's a little bit more harder to explain, but it works. And like I said, if you try it with the code, it does not work. When you do the code like I had it before with the simple object, he just spins in a flipping situation. He never gets out of the spin. So like I said, it doesn't work. You have to do it a little more complex. You have to think outside the box, think about how to do it a different way, because it doesn't always work with the code. It really depends on how complex your character is, and you may have to do it a different way, a different approach in order for it to work. And this is how I had to do it. Alright, well, thanks for watching.